Representative Ilhan Omar recently hit back against President Donald Trump's attacks against her, saying that statements by Trump and Representative Nancy Mace show that the country is, quote unquote, led by idiots. So now Trump talked about her on Thursday to reporters aboard Air Force One. This was after a resolution to censure her over statements that she had made, generally true statements she has made about Charlie Kirk had failed. Take a look.
I love these people that come from a place with nothing, no anything, and then they tell us how to run our country. Now, I think if she got censored, that's great. If she got impeached, that's even better. They impeached me twice for nothing, and they impeached me knowing the Republicans are on my side.
What he just described with, I love the people that come from a place with nothing, no anything. That's the American dream, literally. I mean, Ilhan Omar came from a refugee camp and then became a congresswoman and a naturalized American citizen. That's an amazing story. But instead of it being aspirational here, Trump literally derides it because he does not believe in the American dream. Okay? I'm just saying. Now, Omar responded on Saturday to that statement by saying this.
He seems to have a real obsession with anyone that is an immigrant in this country that is not of European descent. You don't hear him talking about the accent of his wife and, you know, the fact that she came here as an immigrant or any of those things, or the fact that she gets to have an opinion even though nobody elected her into office. But he has an objection to a person who does serve over 700,000 constituents in Congress, who's literally elected, has the same certificate as he does. But I think for me is I feel embarrassed for him because in these attacks, what he does, and I think with the likes of Nancy Mace and whoever that Randy guy is, they expose themselves for how stupid they are. He's uneducated enough to understand that members of Congress can't be impeached. You know, when you have Nancy and Randy saying, you know, we're on it, we're going to impeach her, when they're saying they're going to deport me, knowing full well that you cannot deport an American citizen, what that displays for not just Americans, but folks on an international platform is that our country is being led by idiots. And that is not something that we should be comfortable with as Americans, and that's not something that should make us proud.
And there you go, Ilhan Omar bringing facts, okay? Now, here's the thing. Facts do not matter to Trump and his supporters. They're a fact-free movement. What they cannot ignore, they just make up. I mean, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. Ooh, no, nobody's doing that. Look, they're an anti-intellectual movement. And they do this on purpose, by the way. They don't like facts. What they want is people to be angry, okay? Because people who are angry or people who are scared, they have a harder time using logic and reason, okay? It, like, shuts down that part of the brain. And so, look, a movement like MAGA, understand that they need fear and anger to continue, to keep going. And, by the way, they also always will need a new target. Once they're done with immigrants and trans people, they're going to come after gay people, they're going to come after other people, they're already coming after the left, and so that's what they're doing, okay? And they use, again, fear of immigrants. They've used the fear of the browning of America. They use the anger over changing demographics. And then they're like, wouldn't it be great if we returned to a time that never actually really existed? That's what MAGA actually stands for. That make America great again, right? Let's go back to the time where things were great, but mainly for white people. But wait, what was it about that time that did make America great? Oh, right, the growing middle class, higher taxes on rich people, you know, strong labor rights and protections, that kind of thing. Yeah, that was pretty great. Again, mainly for white people, let's be honest. because there's a lot of racism still back then, and a lot of bigotry and a lot of keeping black people and people of color out of positions of power, and that's really what they're focused on. That's what MAGA really is interested in bringing back, and has brought back for the most part, just the racism and bigotry, and ignored all the socioeconomic stuff that actually did make a large middle class. Okay, and so they're using fear and racism to turn Americans, white Americans, against anyone who is different, and while allowing giant corporations and the wealthy to pick our pockets. They may be idiots, but they sure do know how to manipulate people in order to, vote against their own best interests. And so they're pretty good at doing that. And they have effectively weaponized misinformation, disinformation, social media, lies, and bullshit in order to enact their goals, which are not going very well, will not go well for the vast majority of working people who did vote for President Donald Trump. I'm not saying the majority of the working class did. I'm just saying the people who did, who voted for Trump, that happen to be working class, you are not going to be helped out by this administration. In fact, this administration is out to hurt you, along with everyone else who's not a straight, white, very rich Republican male. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.